Have you ever had your entire worldview flipped inside out, in the best way, but then found yourself still struggling to live like it's true? That's where I've been. That's where a lot of us are. Thanks to Darius J. Wright, many of us have remembered something timeless. We are souls. We never die. There's nothing to fear. There is so much waiting for us on the other side, and thank God for that. LOL. But even with all this beautiful truth, with all this soul-activating wisdom, some days still feel heavy, confusing, frustrating. We know more than ever, but we're still not being what we know. And no one really talks about that part, the gap between soul knowledge and day-to-day living. That quiet inner conundrum of having this divine insight, but still feeling off, unsure, and human. So what do? How do we get from knowing the truth to embodying it? Well, I've been working on something that might help. It's not a doctrine or a download, it's just a way to see things clearer. I call it the golf swing analogy, and it might just be the bridge you've been looking for. Have you been doing everything they told you to do? You've read the books, watched the videos, meditated, manifested, worked tirelessly to be better, to heal, to grow, to level up. And yet, you still feel like you're missing something. You still fall short. Something just isn't clicking. No matter how much effort you put in, the results don't reflect the work. Why? Because what you've been given are pieces, little tips, individual tools, random adjustments, and they might be good on their own. But without the full picture, without a way to tie them together, you're just collecting fragments. It's like trying to hit the perfect shot with only parts of the swing. Your grip's solid, but your posture's off. Your intention's clear, but your rhythm is disconnected. You can't win with a broken form. And that's why I'm here. Because I'm not here to give you more pieces. I'm here to show you how to bring them together. To stop working harder and start living in alignment. Where awareness, knowing, alignment, vibration, and creation sync into one powerful rhythm. Once you feel it, you won't want to move any other way again. Let's get into it. Putting this whole thing together. Awakening, alignment, becoming your highest version. It's a lot like building a golf swing. And if you've ever played golf, you know. It's not just about hitting the ball. It's about 100 little things coming together. Grip, stance, posture, focus, breath, timing, awareness. If your awareness is off, your whole swing is off. Even if you're strong, even if your form looks good, it won't connect. Same thing with life. You can be grinding, showing up, even doing the work. But if you're not aware of what's really going on in you, you're swinging in the dark. Awareness. You can't change what you won't look at. You can't grow if you're still lying to yourself. You can't walk a new path if you're still pretending the old one fits. Awareness is your stance. It's how you show up at the start. It's where your feet are planted. Are you balanced? Are you grounded? Or are you wobbling, reacting, hoping no one notices you're not really set? Because just like in golf, if your stance is off, everything else will be too. And how do you create that stance? By creating space to pause, observe, and ask real, raw, sometimes uncomfortable questions. Not just, how am I feeling? But the kind of questions that make you go quiet for a minute. Why am I still doing this? What am I running from? Do I even like who I've become in this area of my life? Is this me? Or is this a mask I picked up along the way? Awareness is catching yourself mid-autopilot and stopping long enough to ask, wait, who am I doing this for? If you're beginning to wake up, ask yourself these. Who am I, really, beyond the roles I play? This cracks the ego and opens the door to soul-level identity. What in my life no longer feels true to me? This helps identify the masks, habits, and patterns ready to be released. What am I here to learn or experience in this lifetime? Awakens purpose and deepens your connection to the bigger picture. What am I afraid to look at within myself? Brings light to shadows and reveals what's blocking your growth. Am I living from fear or from trust? These will shake you up, but in a good way. They create space. They recenter your stance. They put your feet where they need to be before you make your move. If you're still kinda asleep but starting to feel restless, try these. Am I truly happy or just comfortable? Do I feel like I'm living my own life or someone else's vision for me? Why do I keep distracting myself? If I didn't care what anyone thought, what would I be doing right now? These questions are like hitting a chunk shot into the wind, awkward, unexpected. But they wake you up. So before you try to align your purpose, your passion, your path, check your stance, stand still, ask something real, see what comes up. Don't judge it, just see it. Because that's where the swing begins. Your voice. It'll sound like your voice, telepathic in tone, but just slightly off from your usual stream of thoughts. Part 2. The knowing. Trusting in what your soul already knew. Knowing is the grip. It's what you hold on to when everything else feels uncertain. It's how you connect to the club, your life, with steadiness. Without it, your swing falls apart. With it, you move and flow. Tight enough to stay in control. Loose enough to trust the motion. After awareness comes the knowing. And I don't mean belief. Belief still has space for doubt. Knowing is rooted in the bone marrow of your soul. It's that quiet certainty that doesn't beg for proof, because it remembers. Most of your life you were taught to believe that maybe there's a God, maybe there's an afterlife, maybe there's something more. But it's all wrapped in mystery, fear, and rules, a dangling carrot behind a veil you were never meant to touch, and most people never even consider the other truth. That you are the God, that this is your expansion, that you came here by choice to forget, so that you could remember with power. The system trained you to suppress that knowing. They trained you to outsource your divinity, to systems, to preachers, to performance, to approval. You were never meant to rely on those things to validate your existence, because the real you, the you on the other side, doesn't ask for permission. That you is a cosmic force, plugged into source, eternal, creative, untouchable, unshaken, and yes, that version of you still chose this, chose Earth, chose this insane, painful, beautiful ride, not to suffer, but to remember, to bring awareness through experience, to grow, not just in comfort, but in contrast. And here's where it gets real. You need to know that the other side is real. Not because it's a nice thought, not because someone told you so, but because your soul already knows it. You're just starting to feel it again. Darius J. Wright has been out of his body countless times. He's gone where near-death experiencers go, on command. And he comes back not with woo-woo theories, but with blueprints, information revelations. He confirms what deep down you've always suspected, that this isn't it, that this life is just one sliver of something infinite, that judgment isn't real, that God is not some throne-wielding being in the sky, but the power of creation that lives inside you. So what do you do with that? You stop doubting your divinity. You stop begging for what's already yours. You stop waiting for someone to crown you worthy. You own the knowing. You walk with the confidence of a soul who remembers, who knows that what you want, what your soul longs for, is already approved. You don't need to pray for it to be delivered. You need to align yourself with it and step into it. Because in the other realm, your desires are immediate. You think it, you feel it, it's there. But here, this plane requires the work, the alignment, the vibration, the patience. Not because it's withholding, but because it's refining you. So you can carry what's already waiting. There is no God keeping score. There is no punishment coming. There is your judgment of yourself, but that's another video. Only your own power, waiting to be remembered. So walk like you remember. Speak like you remember. Create like you remember. The knowing doesn't scream. It radiates. Alignment. Becoming the frequency of what you already are. Alignment is your posture. Once you have awareness, and then knowing, the next step isn't just to wait around for blessings to land in your lap. The next step is alignment. Because now that you know the other side is real, that your soul is powerful, that what you desire is already waiting, you have to actually match it. You have to become the frequency of what you want. You're not attracting your future, you're meeting it in vibration. Alignment is the invisible shift that changes everything. Not the content you post, not the car you drive, not even the words you say. It's the energy behind it all. It's who you are when no one's watching. It's the version of you that you revert to when you're alone, unfiltered, unmasked. Just like posture. You don't have to tell someone you have good posture. It's felt. You stand taller, move with ease, and even breathe differently when your posture is aligned. It radiates from you. Your body and energy are in natural alignment. Because you can say affirmations all day long. You can script, manifest, journal, meditate. But if your daily rhythm is full of low-vibe self-talk, habitual distraction, and tolerating things that make your soul itch, you're out of alignment. And out of alignment, you doesn't get the keys to the next level. Alignment isn't perfection, it's integrity with your soul. It's when your actions, your energy, your words, and your desires all face the same direction. When your soul says, "Let's go this way," and your body doesn't argue, it moves. It's when you stop leaking energy into things that don't matter. You stop explaining your growth to people who aren't growing. You stop shrinking to stay likable. Because aligned you walks different. You don't beg for things anymore. You align with them. You say, if this version of me already exists, what does that version do every day? What do they say no to? What do they wake up thinking about? Then you become that. Before the results show up, before the money, before the audience, before the breakthrough. Because that's the test. Can you hold the frequency before the world reflects it back? Here's the truth. You are already the person your soul sees. You're not trying to become someone else. You're just shedding the parts of you that never belonged. Alignment is subtraction, not addition. It's not stacking more. It's removing the noise. You know the feeling. When you eat better, you feel lighter. When you keep your word, you feel solid. When you walk away from low energy, you feel clean. That's not discipline. That's alignment. And alignment is the path your soul already cleared for you. You just have to walk it. Part 4. Vibration, the rhythm of the swing. Let's talk about your vibration, not as some trendy spiritual buzzword, but as the real signal you're sending into the universe, every single moment. In golf, vibration is your rhythm. It's how you flow into the swing. Not stiff, not rushed, not over-controlled. When your rhythm is off, even if your grip, stance, and posture are perfect, the ball won't land where you want it. But when rhythm is right, the whole swing feels effortless. And just like that, your life has rhythm too. Your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, your habits. They become your energetic rhythm, the frequency your soul is swinging from. You are a walking transmission tower. Every thought you think, every feeling you feed, every conversation you stay too long in, every environment you tolerate, it all becomes your vibration, the invisible tone that either brings life closer or pushes it further away. And here's the Darius level truth. The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you vibrate as true. You can't hide from your signal. You can't fake high frequency with high performance. You can't mask low self-worth with loud goals. You can't bury resentment in pretty affirmations. You can't manifest abundance while vibrating in guilt, fear, or scarcity. Because vibration doesn't lie. You don't attract what you wish for. You attract what you're in harmony with. So the question isn't, how do I get what I want? The question is, who do I need to become to swing at the same rhythm as what I desire? If peace is your goal, your vibe can't be chaos. If love is your goal, your energy can't be desperate. If freedom is your goal, your life can't be cramped and overbooked. The things you want, they're already real. But they exist on a specific channel. Your job isn't to force it, it's to tune in. It's rhythm, and rhythm can't be faked. It has to be felt. Here's a wise truth from the other side. Care, but not too much. The ones who care desperately, they're gripping the club too tight. They swing in tension. They're clinging and the ball goes sideways every time. But the ones who hold the vision loosely, who breathe, who stay present, who let go just enough to trust they flow. They swing smooth. They let the rhythm carry them. That's how your energy expands. That's how your vibration invites more in. And the craziest part? You can raise your vibration in tiny, unglamorous ways. Choosing silence instead of reacting. Moving your body instead of spiraling. Drinking water instead of numbing. Letting go instead of over-explaining. Laughing, singing, stretching in the sun. Noticing your breath instead of reaching for your phone. These recalibrate your field. They shift your rhythm. They say to the universe, I'm not swinging in survival anymore. I'm here to connect. And don't forget, your soul is already within you. It's not lost. It's not far. It's just quiet. Ask it. What's my first step? Where should I begin? Then wait. Not with tension, but with presence. It might not hit in meditation. It might come in motion. While you're driving, showering, mowing the lawn. When it hits, you'll know. Sometimes it'll be loud and sure. Other times it'll be soft and strange. Like a whisper that sounds like you, but slightly different. Not quite your normal thoughts. More like a memory from the real you. And maybe you won't get it perfect at first. But act on it anyway. Then listen again. Then refine. That's the rhythm. That's the swing. That's how you walk in your soul's frequency in real time. Vibration is your responsibility. It's your rhythm, your access pass, your frequency signature, and when you hold it long enough, you don't chase the dream. You become the thing it's chasing. Part 5. Creation, becoming the builder of your own universe. Now we reach the moment your soul's been leading you toward this whole time. Creation, not manifesting in the watered-down, trend-chasing sense, but true creation, the kind that rises from alignment, from presence, from power. This is when you stop waiting, you stop hoping, you stop floating between ideas and start moving energy with intention. Because now you understand. The world you want isn't out there. It's not something you stumble into. It's something you build with your vibration. And just like in golf, this moment, creation, is your follow-through. It's the natural result of the entire swing working in harmony. Your stance, awareness, your grip, knowing, your posture, alignment, your rhythm, vibration. Follow-through is where it all connects. It's where the energy is released. It's where the ball is struck with the full force of every intentional move that came before it. And in life, creation is exactly the same. It's the result of your internal alignment. It's the echo of your preparation. And it's the proof that you've stopped playing from reaction and started playing with soul. Creation starts quietly. It's in the first small act that says, I'm no longer aligned with this version of me. I'm done entertaining energy that doesn't serve my evolution. It's in the choosing, over and over, not once, not magically, but daily, brick by brick. A conversation you stop having. A morning you take for yourself. A boundary you keep, even when it's awkward. A soul project you finally stop doubting and start working on. These are not small. These are sacred. This is you rewriting your reality. And here's the truth most people avoid. Creation is supposed to feel uncomfortable at first. Because you're building a life you've never lived from tools you're just learning to use. You'll want to fall back into your old identity, into proving, pleasing, performing. But creation says, no more. This version of you isn't chasing the future. They're creating from now, with clarity, with vision, with soul in every step. And here's the key. Creation only works when you honor the frequency that built it. If you create from scarcity, you'll build something that drains you. If you create from fear, you'll build a prison. If you create from ego, you'll keep chasing validation. But if you create from alignment, you'll build a life that feeds you back, that expands you, that reflects who you really are. So before you launch anything, build anything, say anything, ask, what's the vibration I'm building this on? Will I still love this when no one claps? That's creation in its purest form. And one more thing. Creation doesn't mean go big. Sometimes the boldest thing you can do is start small, consistently, sincerely. Your soul isn't asking you to go viral. It's asking you to be real, to stay honest, to stay devoted, to let the vision take shape through you, not just in thought, but in form. Because when the inner world aligns, the outer world has no choice but to follow. That's not manifestation. That's law. So go create. Not because you're trying to prove something, but because your soul came here to bring something into being that only you could ever deliver. Let's talk about the version of you that already exists in your future, the future you that you want to become. You know, the one, the version that's free, the one who made it, got the money, built the thing, found the peace, and finally, breathed. You can see that version in your mind's eye. They're smiling, laughing, moving lightly through the world. Their shoulders aren't weighed down. They've got this effortless aura, like life is finally aligned. But let me shed some light on something we don't talk about enough. If you somehow get to that future point, get the money, the status, the success, but you carried low vibration energy the whole way there, you're going to feel off, disconnected, possibly even a little betrayed. Because that freedom, that ease, that joy you imagined, it doesn't just show up with the money. You might find yourself thinking, wait, why don't I feel the way I thought I would? Why does this still feel heavy? It's because you brought the wrong energy into the destination. You sprinted with the old mindset, the survival mode self, the I'll be happy when version. But here's the truth. The moment of arrival won't magically transform you. You have to build that version along the way, not after the results show up, not when the world claps. Now. So how do you do that? You practice being your future self in the smallest of ways. You walk into the gas station like the light smiling version of who you want to be. You hold a conversation like the future you who no longer needs approval. You stretch, breathe, and pause like someone who's not rushing life anymore. Even if your current reality is messy, even if there's bills, deadlines, chaos. In the smallest moments, you can begin showing up as the version of you that already exists when everything aligns. Because that version already exists. You're not faking it. You're training your nervous system to receive what's coming. This takes mind discipline. It takes emotional awareness. It takes courage to act like the version of you who already knows it worked out, even when nothing around you reflects it yet. But this is what alignment in motion looks like. So let this be your reminder. If the version you see in the future brings you peace, don't wait to become them. Practice them. Be them now. In the car, in the store, in a breath. And one day, you'll realize you're not chasing your future anymore. You're walking it. And if you followed the journey, you now understand the full swing. Awareness is the stance. where you plant yourself, where you begin. The pause, the space, the truth. Knowing is the grip. How tightly or loosely you hold your divine power. The confidence, the connection. Alignment is the posture, the form you carry, the direction of your energy, the integrity of your soul. Vibration is the rhythm, the tempo of your movement, the signal you emit, the inner hum of your frequency. Creation is the follow-through, the result, the impact, the form that follows feeling, the embodiment of your swing. You are the club. You are the swing. You are the rhythm, the timing, and the shot. You are a creator, and it's time to start thinking like one.